Okay, it's finally time to get started on that Mario Maker Direct analysis with Andre. There's so much to do, it's over 15 minutes long, so many things, and what in fresh hell is this? So right after the Direct, NCL uploaded a 23-minute video showing even more of the game in action. While it's not overly packed, there's still some details that weren't in the Direct. Sorry Direct analysis, we'll get to you. First up, we get our first look at the game's title screen, which just like the original Mario Maker, is overlaid on a ready-to-make level with the options to make or play. Though the original Mario Maker would randomly generate creations, whereas this template in 3D World is blank. It's unclear if they just set it this way beforehand though. Also notice how when you select a level theme, the thumbnails for them animate, giving you a slightly better indication of what you're selecting. The styles are grass, underground, underwater, desert, snow, sky, forest, ghost house, airship, and lava. That's 10 themes, around double what the original game had. We then get a very simple run through the underwater section in 3D World. Here we can hear the underwater variant of Sunshine Seaside from 3D World. One of my favourite tracks from the game actually. Not much more to see here unless you like big empty spaces. We also very briefly see the scrub bar pop up during the editing process, and just like in the original game, this allows you to bring the goalpost closer or further back. It looks like the maximum distance is around the same too. Also, here's a look at how slopes work. A lot of the times in trailers they've placed slopes over existing ridges, but you can just drag them out easily like this. And notice how the Koopa in a car is its own asset rather than needing to place a Koopa in a car. It doesn't seem you can place the car without a Koopa, as the item is even titled Koopa Troopa Car. Unless there's some alternate form without the Koopa. The Koopa will basically pursue you, trying to run you over, but stomping on its head will win you the ride. Ever wonder what happens when you place a clear pipe without a clear exit? Well, as shown here, Mario would turn back and spiral towards the entrance. There's certainly going to be some long and tedious troll pipes in this game, huh? Yeah, I'm looking at you, troll person. Now we saw in the Direct how you can change the bonsai bill's direction, and it turns out those background launching 3D World bills work in the exact same way. You can make a launch from above, below, left, right, and from the background. Though of course this direction appears to be exclusive to 3D World. They'll even continue to launch after the bonsai bill explodes. You perhaps wondered, with 3D World being separate to the other games, whether it will abide by the same level templates, and it appears to be the case. Even though this place is rather distant in style, being modelled after Rolling Ride Run in 3D World, it still falls under the Sky theme, as shown over here. We imagine that, even if they're loosely connected, that the templates will still fall under the same categories. Much like background-facing bonsai bills, Chavars don't just launch the one time. It seems they'll continuously jump back and forth like good lavery boys. Look at that smile. The Angry Sun has only been in one Mario game, and that's Super Mario Bros. 3. But with 1, 3, World and U all sharing the same elements, that means they'll be appearing in all of them. And here's our very first look at the Angry Sun in New Super Mario Bros. U. And it's looking a little weird. We don't see it chasing Mario, but boy, it's a radically different design. I don't even know if I can call it angry, it's just kind of a complicit sun? What do you call this? Switching over to the moon though, we get another look at low gravity granted by the Sky theme in night mode. Come on, Mario Land 2. It also gives the underwater theme a low light spotlight, just like the ghost house. Perhaps a few of these effects will repeat over different themes. And here are the claws in action in New Super Mario Bros. U. And just like in 3, they'll have a little smile on their face when they grab you, and a timid contemplation of life without you. Aww. We also get a more detailed look at how the on-off switches work. When placing a conveyor belt and using the quick select, you'll be able to adjust a few things, like the speed, and whether they'll be affected by the on-off switch. Hitting the switch doesn't turn them off, but it does change the direction. Oh, see ya, Mario. You've probably noticed that basically anything in Mario Maker 2 can be given a parachute, and the same is true for Bowser. The quick select shows that we can give him a super mushroom, wings, and of course a parachute. You can even give him all three if you want to. Now background decorations are nothing new to Mario Maker, as basically every theme and every game mode would get random assets thrown in to decorate the ground tiles. And while Mario U already had flowers, just as it does here, it also seems to get tall patches of grass, which is a little peculiar. Maybe other themes will get extra details like this too? Alright, now this we actually speculated about in our most recent analysis, that the coloured pipes have different properties, and that's very much the case. The green pipes shoot things out at a normal rate, the blue ones are slower, yellow is a bit faster, and the red is the fastest. And you can also of course select them to travel to a sub-area, but we actually demonstrated why we expected the red ones to be faster in this comparison, and it turns out to be right. When going through the pipe, we notice it's a vertical sub-area, and we even get a small look at the controls. It seems we can toggle whether it's horizontal or vertical down here, and then there's a height slider, which is very similar to adjusting the horizontal levels, where you can just move them up and down to decide how tall you want them to be. Now if you want more screen real estate when editing, it seems you can move these bars around. When the cursor moves over the bar on the left, it simply vanishes. And considering all of these bars have yellow tabs, perhaps the same is true for all of them. But is the cursor hiding this bar, or is there some other kind of button? Maybe it's both. Either way, there aren't that many limitations in what you can see here. Ever since those blurry screenshots, we've wondered how the grabbers will work, but it seems not only can we swing from them, but if they're holding something, they'll drop it as Mario passes by. Perhaps there's an option to make them permanently hold objects. We're not quite sure about that yet. So thwomps normally are pretty scary as they are, but sideways thwomps? Oh boy, these guys just don't give up when given the chance. It basically doesn't seem to stop until it collides with something. It just keeps chasing Mario. Thwomps really are the most dedicated Mario enemy. And finally, we get a little look at how sound effects work. And yeah, it's just like in the original Mario Maker, where you place tiles that the player has to pass through. We can even see the Super Famicom logo, which appeared when Mario entered a Koopa Car in the Direct. So it is indeed just an effect. In addition to the effects that were in the prior game, there's even more than ever before. And there you have it, everything we could spot in this little Mario Maker featurette. There's not much in there, but oh god, there's more. Yeah, there's another video, but thankfully there's not much in this one. So we actually get our first look at the Super Mario Bros. Versions of Goombrats. These originated in New Super Mario Bros. U. If you remember back to the first Mario Maker, Goombas didn't do anything when you shook them. There's no alternate form. But here in Mario Maker 2, they have Goombrats. We can also see when placing the cat bell in 3D World, we're given the option of a mushroom, but what exactly does that mean? Well, I think the most likely answer is if Mario's in his smaller form, it will turn into a Super Mushroom, whereas if he's Super Mario, he'll get the Super Bell. And finally, just as we thought in our analyses, the Sting Bee doesn't move vertically, and it's just stuck to a horizontal plane. Alright, are we done now? Nope. A picture from the Japanese site shows a new level objective where you escort a toad to the end of the level, kinda like in Mario plus Rabbids. It seems the requirement is just this one toad, so if you lose the guy, it's likely game over. There's more, isn't there? There's always more. We're always analysing things, then more stuff comes, then a new game comes, we analyse that. We're just doomed to live our lives in this analysis dungeon. Oh, it is over. Well, in that case, thanks so much for watching, everyone. We're going to be doing a lot more Mario Maker 2 analyses over the course of this week. We're going to be dissecting the Direct in chunks, so I'm taking this part and Andre's taking the other part. So hopefully with that method, we can get out in a fairly consistent time frame, but I guess we'll see. But if you want more right now, we actually have more right now, as Andre's put up a video for 10 secrets you may not have realised in the Mario Maker 2 Direct trailer. So go check that out, and until then, be sure to subscribe to GameXplain for a lot more on Mario Maker 2, and other things gaming too. Until next time, bye.